Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. This is my second video. This video right here is going to be all about star powers, really. It's somebody asked if I could make one about the star powers, and I work all weekend, so I didn't really have much time to do stuff then. I used to not work, but it's kind of hard to upload videos over the weekend, but I couldn't play much, but I knew I could work on this, so I got a lot of this done. So basically, I thought about it and I was like, all right, let's say I get like a 15-minute video, and that would, for 23 star powers, that's not very long. So I decided I'm gonna do in this first video probably the first 11 star powers, because for newer players, those are the more important ones. Those are the ones that you're gonna be getting first, the ones that you're gonna have the choice to get because you've been getting those power points since the very beginning. So you most likely are able to get those star powers a lot sooner, so you'll know what you're getting into. So the first star power I'm going to be discussing is Shelly's star power. Shelly's super is like her special attack is probably it's definitely the most dangerous one in the game. It's ridiculously lethal, and there's not really anything that can stop it when you're at close range. It's dangerous. So when you combine that with something like slowing the enemies down and trapping them to get more shots off to get your super back faster, it's really good, especially for people that are like who know how to use this well, because normally with your regular Shelly super, shooting into a big group of enemies like from range isn't really something that you generally do because they just go away. But now with the slowdown, you can use it to get an enemy within your range in, let's say, like a showdown match, and then you can get closer to them to deal higher damage and even recharge it back and shoot it again potentially. It's also very useful in Brawl because a lot of people are really good with that, keeping them away from the ball, dealing a lot of damage, and then stopping them from blocking your goals. All around, this star power is extremely good if you're a good player, and you like Shelly, and you think about the slowdown and you consider that when you're using it. It's definitely one of the best. So the next star power I'm going to be talking about is Nita's star power, Bear With Me. And basically, she recovers 500 health per shot she does. Like her bear is healed by 500 HP when she attacks someone, and then when her bear attacks someone, she's healed 500 HP. Now, personally, I don't really enjoy playing Nita all too much, but she's a very good brawler, especially when it comes to playing gem grab and on certain showdowns, and this star power does a lot if you know how to use it right, and going up against certain brawlers. When you're up against people that do damage like through targets, it doesn't really do as much, but if you're going up against somebody like a Leon or somebody like a Shelly, it helps your bear tank a lot more health for you because it's constantly being healed, which can really change the game, and it's definitely something to consider if you're a gem grab player, somebody that really likes to play gem grab, plays Nita a lot, and is dynamic with her. Next up, we've got Colt. So what Colt's star power does is his movement speed is increased, which isn't super great for your regular gameplay, but if you're good with Colt and you hit your shots and supers well, it's a lot. Like this is more of like a high skill cap star power almost, if that makes any sense. It really only helps if you're already good with him and lining up the supers, because it makes it easier to track the super, like the huge line of laser shots on somebody, if you know how to do it right. And this is especially good in Heist. It's really, really good for that because you can line up the shots with the safe and the person. It's really good in the showdown maps with like the robots, because you can line them up with the robot and other teams, and overall this star power can be very good. You just have to be a good Colt. It doesn't just like immediately make Colt all that much better. Now we're on to Bull's star power, Berserker. This star power is absolutely amazing. When it comes to Heist or Siege, this star power, it's a huge game changer. This star power really can change like the outcome of games a lot of times, because if your reload speed is doubled, you're doing double the amount of damage to the safe. So let's say you charge into the safe, you get in there, you're down to like 2,000 health, you're below 40%, and you kill a Brock or a Barley or a Daryl or whoever's back there defending, right? Now they have to respawn, and in the 5 seconds it's taking them to respawn, instead of doing like 6,000 damage, you're now doing 12,000 damage to the safe. That is a huge difference when it comes to a game of Heist, when you can charge into that safe multiple times. This also has a factor in the other modes, because if you're like chasing another brawler at range and you don't do much damage per shot because it's at range, you get a lot more shots in, and it helps a lot. Next we have Jesse's star power, but before I get into this, I just want to say, I'm just realizing now that these screenshots, they were lined up right, but for some reason the way iMovie puts pictures in and has them moving around, when you lock them in position, sometimes they turn out weird. I'm sorry about that. And this will be one of my only videos that's not like with actual gameplay. This I didn't have time to put that together, and I knew I needed to get this video out because it really doesn't come down to the gameplay. The facts are the facts. That the star power isn't going to change. I'm telling you basically what you need to know. That's seeing it happen, and doesn't make you automatically going to do that. That's obviously a potential thing, but yeah, going forward, the videos will be definitely a bit different than this one. But alright, back to Jesse's star power. Jesse's star power is very good, but recently I realized that I've been using it wrong for a while. I kind of would just throw the turret out in the middle of nowhere and spam shoot it and be like, oh, it's invincible now, I can heal it. No, that's not it at all. And I would always wonder how all these players are so good with Jesse, and they're so high trophies with not even a high power. Like, mine's 500, obviously, and theirs are like 550 and stuff at like power 5, and it's like, holy cow. But with Jesse, it's really about the turret placement as well. But the star power is still really good, especially for things like the boss fights, the Robo Rumble, the boss, like the 1v5s is really good for that. The Robo Rumble defense, the boss fight robot, that one is really good in gem grab, especially if you have a wall to get it behind, because if somebody, like, it's really good up against tanks, because the turret's doing damage, you're healing it, and you're doing damage. Jesse's star power, it really does a lot. Here we have Brock's star power. It's called Incendiary, and the impact of Brock's attack sets the ground on fire, and enemies within the area take 300 damage per second. Now, this isn't particularly good against brawlers in fights. Yes, there are scenarios where I find that people are kind of silly and just walk into the fire and die, not really paying attention to it, because it's not something that you're always aware of, because, you know, you have a lot of health. 300 isn't like that much normally. You don't have that significantly low health. But what it is very good for is going up against turrets or mortars or Pam's healing turret or the heist safe. It's very, very good on some heist maps, because you can sit there, and if you can get back there, it does that 300 damage 4 or 5 times. And it does it at least 4 to 5 times. So even in a game of Showdown, it only takes 3 rockets to break a box, even from the start, because that fire is damaging it. And this overall damage for things that aren't really moving has a huge effect on how much damage you're doing, and a huge effect on how efficiently and effectively you're killing things. So here we have Bo's star power, Circling Eagle. Now, this star power was recently given a huge nerf. The range was amazing, and on some maps of the one bounty map, Snake Prairie, and a couple Showdown maps, if you didn't have a bow, you really were, like, you lost the fights against every team that had a bow, because it was so dominant, and the range was so ridiculous that you were never caught off guard by anybody. Like, even the faster brawlers, like, you always shot first. You knew where they were. You could stay out of their sight so easily. And now it's not bad, but it's not necessarily the greatest star power anymore. It really doesn't give too big of an advantage. I feel like right now, Bo's star power particularly isn't very strong or necessary because of all the buffs they've given him recently. Now, in the near future, I feel like they will nerf his damage more, so this might not be accurate for the longest time, but currently, his star power, compared to how he does, it really doesn't have too much of an effect. So now we're going to take a look at El Primo's star power, El Fugo, which burns his opponents for 800 damage over 4 seconds after you land a super on them. Now, at first glance, I really wasn't impressed by this. It recently got a buff, and I feel like recently I've realized it's a little better than I thought it was, even without the buff, because especially when it comes to games of Brawl Ball and you have to be super aggressive and you have to be up in their face, it is very good because you can jump on opponents, sit there and attack them, get it back, and then jump again, and that damage adds up over time. They can't heal during that time, which over 4 seconds, it's almost like Crow's poison for that amount of time. And if, let's say, you damage them low enough, you can kill them with that even after you die, and that damage is annoying to the people that you hit, and it can change a lot of outcomes. That's 800 extra damage. That's not insignificant. Ricochet's star power, super bouncy, is very interesting in the fact that I've heard a lot of mixed things. A lot of people have told me it's not a good star power, it's the worst in the game. Personally, I like it. I think it's a good star power. I think that when you're in maps like Cavern Churn or some of the gem grab maps, and you're hitting your bounce shots, and you get a super on somebody like a Bull or a Primo, and that's not like if this happens, and it's rare, like this happens a lot, 80 extra damage per bullet. Let's say you hit 20 of these super bullets, and that would be, that'd be 8k. So let's say you hit 10 of them, right? That's 4,000 damage. Add 800 to that, 4,800. That's a good bit of damage, and that's not even just with the supers. That's with your regular shots too. And on a regular brawler that's not that tanky, that adds up a lot. I feel as though I don't really need to say much about this star power. Currently, in my opinion, this is the best star power in the game. This star power is so ridiculous because 40% less damage taken for that bit of time at close range. Like, it basically makes your health 1.5 times what it was as Daryl. So instead of having like 6,000 health or 5,000 health or whatever, now you're looking at 7,500, 8,000. You're looking like a Primo doing shotgun damage at close range. It's so good in the game right now, in Heist, in Gem Grab. It's for objectives. It is, and with the rolling over the water, it's unbelievable how good this star power is right now. And if it stays this good, this is definitely one you really want to grab as early as possible, and you can just push Daryl just about anywhere, especially showdowns. You can carry so easily in Heist. He's unbelievable. So here we have Piper's star power, and her star power, Piper's really only seen in Bounty. Okay, I take that back. She's a dominant brawler in Bounty. She's very good on some showdown maps if you're good with her, and on Gem Grab, she really can be used on some of the maps. If you're a good Piper, she's really useful. Now, with this 400 extra damage, if you hit 2 shots on somebody, that's 800 damage extra right there. At any range, it does, or no, at long range, that's the 800 extra damage, right? Now, it doesn't seem too great, but 2,600 shots, like 2,600 damage shots, is going to take out a brawler that's around 5,100 health, or 5,160, whatever that is. Without this, you're not taking them out, and when it comes down to not killing them with 2 shots, or killing them with 2 shots each time, it has a big effect. Now, that's going to be it for star powers in this video. I'll have another one coming potentially as my next video. Maybe you guys want a different one as the next one. Definitely let me know down in the comments if you want to see another one of these next, if you want to see gameplay. What specifically do you want to see? Let me know which star powers out of what I said do you agree with what I said for most of these? Do you think that what I said was wrong? Definitely let me know what you're thinking about what I'm saying and what you want to see next. I think I missed a Dynamite in there because I just got his star power 2 nights ago maybe, and I had all these. I put this slideshow together on Friday actually, but I didn't have time to record all this audio until right now on Monday night when I'm releasing this video. So I'll definitely have Dynamite in the next one. I think I covered 11 star powers this time, so I'll have 12 in the next one. There's like there's 3 star powers that I still don't have currently, but I'll be getting them relatively soon because I have a bunch of boxes saved for the new brawler Carl that's coming out at the end of the month. And I'll probably drop a video all about Carl right when he comes out because I'll most likely get him. Yeah, thanks for watching. Definitely let me know what I could do better, if I did some things better or worse than my last video. What you want to see in the next videos in the future. If you like the video, definitely let somebody know about it, or if you have somebody that you think might benefit from this, please let them know. Trying to grow a little bit. I was really surprised by the amount of feedback and the amount of views I got on my last video. That was extremely successful based on what I mean, I wasn't expecting like nothing, but I definitely wasn't expecting 80 views or 20 subscribers. That was amazing. Thank you guys for that. I'd love it if we could keep some growth going. That'd be really nice, and that's the goal. I mean, yeah, if you don't mind, just if you've got friends that play Brawl Stars, if you know other people that play Brawl Stars, if you've got friends in games, your friends that you're in the lobby with, anybody that you might think would watch my videos or enjoy it, definitely just let them know, especially if you like my videos. I think I'm going to wrap this one up here. I'm just going to leave this gameplay going because I'll just let it play out. I thought I did pretty good as a Colt this game. I got some nice supers in here. But yeah, definitely leave some comments. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I'd love some feedback. That would really be helpful. And my next video should be up probably definitely this weekend, because this weekend I don't work at all. I'm staying at my mom's instead of my dad's, so I should definitely have a nice content video coming this weekend, unless you guys want to see another one of these. Let me know what mode, what brawler, what specifically you want to see, because I don't have a ton of people watching or a ton of people letting me know what they want to see, so I'm doing all sorts of personal requests. As you can see, this was the first one I did.